What's up, internet? Oh man. One of those days, weeks, months, years, life. My head feels like it's about to pop. Someone tried to hotwire the van last night. Nice one, Warrington. Trying so hard. Just want to settle, you know? People not fucking with me. All my problems are caused by other people. And me allowing it to bother me, which is definitely a thing. You need to live your life from a place of abundance, not from a place of lack. If you want and need, you're pushing. You need to just let go and allow. Know that it's already yours and it'll come to you. That's how it works. They call it like law of attraction, and like it sounds really hippie bullshit, but it's not. But you just have to be able to completely let go and allow it to happen, and have faith and trust the process, not break the 10 commandments and not lie, and build a karma bank. Basically, everyone's got a moral compass. Everyone knows when they're going against it or not, and that's the thing. It's that conscious choice, and that sends out vibrations and energies, and you can bank it. If someone does something really shit to you, don't go back and get revenge. That's not karma. Karma is allowing God to do it for you, which will happen. There's a psalm about it. I think it's like 78, 87. The number randomly came to me and I was like, oh, I'm gonna check what psalm it is. And basically it says, God does karma anyway. If you go and try and elicit it, or what's the word? Cause it, you'll then get karma back for the thing that you do. That's all this is, karma. It's all balance. Everything's in balance. Can't have good without bad. Problem is, there is a huge shift in society at the moment, and definitely there's a huge positive shift in consciousness, which is great, which is really great. I'm coming from a place of lack, I think, sometimes, but it's a hard balance between place of lack and trying hard in life, fulfilling potential and want to make something of yourself. That's what I want to, make something of myself. Oh, I'm getting migraine. Oh, the stress migraines have come back. Stress migraines have come back really bad. I've managed to pack the smoking in. I'm annoyed at myself for that, but also sort of being kind to myself. It's been a wild series of events. I wish I'd had a loving mum and dad, but they got hurt a lot, obviously, when they were younger, and they got passed stuff by their parents, and I just don't want my kid to have to suffer because of someone else's bullshit when I've done the work to I feel really sad today. Someone tried to hotwire the car as well, just as I was getting settled. They obviously knew what they were doing as well. While I was in bed upstairs. I don't think the dogs woke me up. I appreciate that these pauses of me thinking and just sitting with whatever it is that I'm sitting with don't necessarily make for all that. Look at my tattoo. For all that interesting viewing. but though they are real. And I'm very conscious that in documenting me speaking, talking about life and the way things are going. Is that fat? It doesn't look like there's that. It looks fat, but I think it's just lumpy rather than fat. I'm definitely overweight, but I don't know if I'm carrying any in my arms. Cool to tell you that, isn't it? Even if I do say so myself. Rain City. Yeah, man. I had a lovely moment with the baby today. I can feel it when we connect. Excuse me. I get a felt sense. It's really nice. And now I'm at B&Q because I want to do my garden. But also, I now feel really sad that someone's tried to steal something again from the house. So now I'm thinking like, what's the best route of enabling us to just be settled and safe? And that would, in the place that we are, would require a fence and a gate, clearly, because I did so much work on the house that now I feel like a target. Because people keep trying to nick stuff, which is upsetting and unsettling. I'm not going to go into B&Q. I think I feel too overwhelmed. It's going to be busy as well, and that's really frustrating because I wanted to do the garden today. But because doing self-development and stuff was supposed to make things easier. It's like Christianity, it only works if everyone does it. That's coming from a place of lack. I do know that it's all worth it, and like it's all going to come back around, and just don't talk shit about people. Even when they hurt you, don't talk shit about them. The Bible calls it a froward mouth. I checked this out with a priest, or whatever you call them, clergyman. What is a froward mouth? It's basically gossiping. Don't talk shit about people. Also, something that I didn't learn until later in life, which would have been handy earlier on. If you don't know this, please write it down. If someone's talking shit about someone to you, they're also talking shit about you to someone else. Do you know who I learned that off? Mike Skinner from The Streets said it on a podcast, and I thought, that is poetic. Funnily enough, he is a poet of sorts, a rapper. If someone is talking shit about someone else to you, they are also talking shit about you to someone else. It's useful advice. I'm just regurgitating shit that I've learned and thought. But to be fair, I do think up a lot of stuff. What's that one I said? When you're in a rush to do something. This is what happened when Daniela was giving birth and nearly died. The nurse was like shaking, trying to get the, is it a catheter? Or was that thing that goes in your willy? Tries to get the blood thing in. I can't remember what it's called. The needle. And she was shaking, she couldn't do it, and she missed the vein and she couldn't get it in. She was shaking, they're all flapping around me. And I said, this thing that I've thought of myself is, when you're in a stressful situation and you're trying to rush something, and you rush it and you fuck it up and you've got to do it again, you actually spend more time doing it twice. So the good thing that I've thought of, that I coined, was, for myself, that I'm now sharing with you, who, this is no one, this is me talking to a camera in a B&Q car park, but the thing is, do it properly. Take your time and do it properly once so you don't have to do it again. Do it properly once. Take your time and do it properly once so that you don't have to do it again. Focus. Take your time. You know you need to do it fairly quickly, but you also need to get it right. So that's a good piece of advice, even if I do say so. And that one is just, that's free from me to you. Well, they're all free. It's YouTube, isn't it? And I don't know if anyone's actually watching, which is Gonna happen in time. It's one of those things, isn't it? England. Should we talk about England? It's not what it once was, is it? Really, really, really not what it once was. It's very sad. Very sad. I noticed a huge change. When I was at university, you could get a doctor's appointment and be there like the same day type stuff. You just walk in and it's just like... And then they were talking about all those cuts, and you hear about cuts, you just think, I don't know, maybe I was naive, young, as well, it's not going to change anything. It's changed everything, and that's just with healthcare. Part of me is thinking they're purposely running it into the ground so that we're pleased when they privatise it. Like they're doing us a favour. We were such a great nation. Maybe it's karma because we was like pillaged the world. But like, I don't know. We obviously don't have any natural resources. I think there's some in Scotland, the motherland. Oh, Scotland. Love that song. I used to cry listening to that song because I wanted to play rugby for the Scotland Rugby Union team so badly. I wanted it so badly, I would visualise and I would cry. That's how badly I wanted it. I would cry listening to Flower of Scotland. Just pure, I don't even know what the word is. Emotion, like... you hear about people talking about visualization, if you attach the feeling, so if you're looking at something in the future, because the visualization is just a forward memory that you can then facilitate happening. And if you think about the feeling that you have when you are in that place, then that attaches, that speeds up the manifestation of the visualization. But yeah, the situation in England, man, it's sad. And immigration in itself is natural, especially when there's haves and have-nots within different societies and governments and war-torn structures. I think there's a possibility that we have no idea of, well, people are waking up to it actually, but the majority of people are asleep to the fact that there's a globalist elite with all the money that control everything. And we're just force-fed stuff through the news, basically, that we all believe. It is mad that if you zoom out and like objectively look at the situation that we're in, right, we get all of our information about everything from a box in a room. Everyone's got a box in their front and they just stare at it for hours, and we get all of our information, and then that completely changes the world around us from the information that you get out of a box, which may or may not be manipulatable, may or may not be biased. Should probably talk more like that. That's probably going to win more people over, or get more people to actually like. Problem is, when you say things too much and it's too much of a hit, people panic and get mad, and then they troll because they're taking it emotionally, because it rocks them too much, because it's scary. But if I could, the one way I described about COVID was at the very least, it was a conflict of interest, and this is all publicly available information. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation donate to the BBC, which is all on the BBC website in a pie chart. They then use that money for whatever reason they want, but they push the Pfizer vaccine, which then Bill and Melinda Gates profit from. So whatever lines or dots you want to draw, I would suggest that at the very least, there is a conflict of interest. And if I was to speak like that more about it, instead of being sounding more accusatory and finger pointing, even though that I may feel like that, this sort of language is going to win more people round, which is ultimately what we want, because we want everybody awake to the fact that we aren't necessarily in a harmony. We aren't necessarily in a society or world that propagate, is that the right word? That like encourages the betterment of its people. I would suggest that it encourages the betterment of the status quo, and that we live in a society that's incredibly difficult to challenge the status quo in terms of the capitalistic society hierarchy that we found ourselves in. Money goes to money, and I presume it may have been structured that way in order to preserve that. I think there's some very, very clever rich people. The problem is that because I've seen lots of different shit from lots of different places, as I say, I've played football at Eton College and done drugs in Ibiza. Leonardo, don't do that. Talk to me if you're going to. If you're thinking about it. I've seen a lot of different scopes of life, and high life in Cheshire and, Oxford, and I've always had my foot in different camps. Just dipping my toe as I go. Different camps, you know me, just dipping those toes, tiddle-diddle-diddles. Yeah. Spain, Catalonia, Venezuela, high society in England, but then walk the dogs through a council estate in Warrington. I really want Warrington to be better. That's one of the main things why I was frustrated this morning, is because I'm really banking on Warrington to step up. I'm really, really, really I'm setting my stall, I'm putting my feet down, I'm putting my feet up. I'm trying to build foundations in this place that I can call home, and people are making it difficult. Now that is not good, because foundations are the most important thing. Everything else comes after that. Maslow's hierarchy of needs talks about the end goal is self-actualization, where you know yourself and you are self-actualized, you achieve your potential. But in order to do that, there is a series of steps in the pyramid, and they start with like basic food and shelter and stuff. But if you extrapolate that out, it's basically foundation setting, and then from there, with family and love and support, you can build. It's limitless. Because as well, if you tie in the manifestation and the grounding and the everything else, you've got the potential to really rock the boat. But the system is very difficult to do that, because getting money, working for money, getting money is very difficult. Something that I didn't always appreciate, having come from more of a silver spoon background. But then also being plunged into normal life as well. Yeah, mad like mix. Me. Mad mix. Like covered in tattoos, but I can always cover them up. Got like kind of like a posh haircut, but then rocking a bit of a mullet. Covered in tattoos, but wear a suit regularly. I don't know. I'm starting to believe in myself more of late, and just like I'm conscious that there is a positive conscious shift happening. I'm conscious that there's a lot of reform necessary, and I'm conscious that the people that are supposed to have our best interests at heart, the leaders, are devoid. All that shit I had to go through with the police, to see the inner workings of it, to understand that there is a lack of nobility, which is surely is a prerequisite to a society, a functional society. I had to go through all that shit. My mate said to me the other day, I saw some mates for the first time in fucking ages, excuse my French, and he said, you're just picking the fight with the wrong people. And I was so naive to the system, having not been in trouble with the police before, that I thought, no, this can't be right. I'll fight this because it's the right thing and it'll be fine. And it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I felt really hurt, really let down, really badly traumatized, which sort of snapped me out of my anxiety, which was double-edged sword. But is that the phrase, double-edged sword? Why me? Why have I got this eclectic mix of abilities and experiences? Why is it me? Where is this gonna go? I know it's gonna go somewhere. I feel it. And I don't mean that in a boastful way at all. I've really struggled with self-worth stuff for a long time. If it ever sounds like I'm being big-headed, it's just miscommunicated. I've really have struggled to be the oak tree, be the trunk of the oak tree, and let the leaves blow in the wind, but the trunk never moves. Because you know yourself, I know myself, I know the Rudyard Kipling poem, If, like, completely changed my life. For any man, any boy, any young man, if you can read that and understand it and do it, things will go well. Conor McGregor is running for president in Ireland, but it's Conor McGregor. So no matter what he says, we'll see. To be fair, I shouldn't be judgmental. But the elite classes are judgmental. They are. And there's going to need to be someone that's got feet in all camps. And I am starting to believe that might be me, or is me rather. Which I don't know if I particularly want to do that. Just want to look after my dogs and garden and set up my businesses and keep to myself, really. And play sport, obviously, to a very high level, but I don't know. I feel like I've always been trained in fame as well, which is such a mad thing to say. Like I've been prepared for something. I've always been sort of, since I sorted myself out and went sober and all that, I've always had that thing of like, aim high. I think I get it from my dad. I'm more like my dad than I ever thought. I always thought I was like my mum. Everyone always told me I was like my mum, but I'm more like my dad. I've taken the good bits of my mum and a lot of my dad. I've really looked up to my dad. Yeah, I feel like I missed out on the family thing, but not crying, not bitching, not moaning, not coming on here moaning all the time, are you? Not coming on here just talking shit, moaning. Partly therapy sessions. I've noticed that just speaking it doesn't necessarily need to be to anyone. Helps me. Partly lonely. Partly I don't know, I just feel like it's important and going to be useful in the future. I think media and everything, it has to be genuine. And the only way that you can, trying to think this forward, I understand that there's a moves being made on my part that are going to hopefully benefit a lot of people that don't currently have a voice. And I think I just want, I can see it that when, I'm going to stress migraine, when people challenge the status quo, there's like a 3-part destruction plan that the current status quo uses in order to besmirch, is that the right word? Make the other people discredit. And it happens every time. Happened with Conor McGregor, a court case. Happened with Russell Brand, court case. Happened with Andrew Tate. I mean, he don't help himself, but happened with Andrew Tate. Happened with, they came for Joe Rogan. Who else did they come for? There's a plan, there's a step-by-step play for it, what they do. Okay, let me go back and rephrase that to make it more, less accusatorily sounding. So, there seems to be a pattern that I've noticed where these people that speak out against the current status quo, there seems to be a pattern to how they're treated, and it seems to be readable. So I'm joining dots because I don't believe what I'm told. I just join my own dots. So the same thing happens, and every time somebody speaks out, there seems to be a thing, and they sometimes die. And that's quite scary. I've known that for quite a while, but I've kind of just been like, c'est la vie. It's more important to do what your heart tells you and risk everything, because that's what living is. There's 6 inches in front of your face. Yeah, I feel like I miss having a childhood a bit. Like, I moved around a lot. I was the posh kid in Warrington and then the chav in Cheshire, which was yeah. It's like I don't fit in anywhere, but I fit in everywhere. If that makes any sense. I've always been like that, even at uni. All the social groups, I was always in all of them, but not really in any of them. Weird. I've always been a bit like chameleon-like. I've always tried to be, especially now, like completely myself, completely genuine. I understand that when I was younger, it may not have manifested itself quite like that. But you don't really know, you don't know your arse from your elbow, do you, before you're 30, really? Especially these days. People in my cohort that I used to look up to, like, oh my god, they're doing amazing. It's like, oh right, he's a massive beakhead. Well, cool. We also realise that narcissism and narcissists, while we demonise them, I certainly have and do, they are also hurt people that are just not strong enough to step into reality. So they create an iron sheath of protection, a cloak, as if you will, to protect themselves from the pain, which in itself is sort of noble, kind of. Like, I'm not strong enough to deal with this, so I'm putting up this wall, and I don't care who it hurts, because this is the wall that needs to be set. This is protection. In a sense, there is a sort of nobility in that. At any costs, I'll protect myself. But imagine if you were narcissistic about good people, or you were narcissistic about being good and the community that you're in. But that's where racism comes from, isn't it? You're not the outsiders thing, you're not coming in. This is what I was saying the other day, there is an element of safety in that. It's not right, and I've felt it and I've seen it, and it's not okay. And this is where the left side is really, really important, liberal and allowing, and people take the piss, that's the problem. How can you be narcissistic about your group, protective of your group as a whole instead of the individual, the whole society? How can you be protective of that whilst not overstepping boundaries? Blags my head, all this. Just my head's going downloading all this information, trying to. I did meet up with some friends the other day though, and I was acutely aware that because I don't have a 9 to 5, everyone thinks I just sit on my arse all day, including my family, which is incredibly offensive and judgmental. Let me rephrase that. I feel incredibly offended and judged. Because I work harder than the majority of people on planet Earth. Just because I don't have a contract doesn't mean that I don't work hard. And I've also got fingers and pies, which is very important in life. You should run your life like a business. Government should be run like a business. That's the benefit of the Trump administration and that side of things, because that's how you streamline and make it effective. But you also should run your life like you're a business. Run yourself like you're a business. This is something I'm working through at the moment. And I'm thinking about finances and over-reliance on... So there's a thing called over-reliance on suppliers, for example. So if I'm selling car keys, and I sell this thing and I buy them from one place, and then they know that I buy them from 2 places, right? One of the factories goes bust and the other factory finds out that the other one's got bust. My company relies on buying my car keys from this to sell them. They can then hike up the price to whatever they want, which is kind of what's happening with China now with the tariffs. All the prices are going up. Which is why we need to do manufacturing within. Anyway, and there's also over-reliance on customers. So this is another easier way, a way that I have explained it on here before, where if I have a business that makes £100 a week, and that £100 comes from one person, if I lose that one person, that one contract, my business is gone, isn't it? But if I've got 100 people paying me £1, 100 people paying me £1, if I lose one of those people, I've still got £99 at the end of the week. Should I say that again? If I've got a business that makes £100 a week, and I get that £100 from one person, and that one person, that one customer decides that they don't want to deal with me anymore, the business is gone, isn't it? Because you've lost the £100, you lost that one customer for £100. But if I have 100 customers at £1 each, and I lose one of them thinks those car key prices are shit, too much, I'm getting off, see you in a bit, pal. And I lose one customer, I've still got £99, haven't I? Because the other 99 customers that haven't lost are paying £1 still. If you can run your life like that, we live in this rat race wheel, where everyone thinks that you have to have 9 to 5, it's really important. Well, actually, could you, the key to life is actually doing what you love and doing it all the time. That's like, love is the key to life, passion, that is it. But we don't think in terms of that, we think in terms of lack. We don't come from in terms of abundance, we come in terms of lack. I need a Ferrari to make me socially up the hierarchy so that I look cool, so that I get da. But that's not actually where happiness and love and passion and the meaning of life comes from. You can't get happy through material, and you have to have that to realise it, which is a very strange lesson that I learned early, because I did come from more of a silver spoon background, and I did spend a lot of money on Armani t-shirts and Range Rovers, and I realised that none of it made me happy. It was all baseless, and you get twats that are rich and twats that are poor. A twat is a twat. but none of it made me happy. The reason why it didn't make me happy is because it doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is looking after my house, looking after my dogs, spending time with my kid, boxing training, playing football, doing my businesses, being creative in entrepreneurship. That's the shit that gets me going. That's what I love doing. Unfortunately, I found myself in a position where I've been able to learn that lesson so that I can then share it. Because most people don't figure that out. I met with a guy the other day who was talking about selling the car rental business that I've just set up. And he was talking about BlackRock and the people that own everything. I was like, and Nelson Mandela, who we met, I was like, how the fuck have I got myself into this situation again? It's like when I went down to University of Exeter, I was like, this is well posh, even for me. Anyway, and I was talking to this guy, and he was talking about having different businesses. He's worked his whole life. He was really high up in Vodafone and all this kind of stuff, communications, South Africa, And he's talking about having all these different businesses. And I've literally lived the life of like a 75-year-old man. But that's exciting though, because he was still very much external driven. I could tell by the conversation that he wanted me to know that he'd met Andela. He wanted me to know. He was trying to get external validation, where I've gone through so much life twisters that I've managed to come to a place where I was like, okay, right, I know that materialism doesn't make me happy because I've done it, and I didn't. I know that drugs and escapism doesn't make me happy because I've done it, and I did it. And it doesn't. So I've gone through all these mad cycles and just come out the other side, somehow still alive. Like, it's pretty mad. But also really young. I feel like I'm really young compared to the life lessons that I've learned. My therapist used to say that. Old beyond my years, in terms of like what I've learned. But I'm able to articulate it, which is something that's really important to me, because I can see that the marginalised, the working class, the people that need the help the most, the people that don't have money, don't have access to education, don't have access to opportunity, the ones that typically get involved in petty crime, trying to hotwire vans. That's why I get so annoyed. That's why I was so upset this morning when I saw my van and someone tried to hotwire it. It's like, I'm being judgmental, but it's probably someone off one of the estates near me, quite possibly. And I've been saying to people, oh, it's not that bad, it's just humble people, which majority of people it is. I really want to make life better for those people that have nots, because that's where petty crime comes from. But like, I've had like really sentimental stuff stolen on more than one occasion because of this have not thing, and it hurts. I'm a bit autistic. I get sentimentally attached to stuff. I had a Real Madrid shirt nicked in Leeds. Someone smashed the back of my Corsa outside Kirkstall Brewery and nicked my bag of all my stuff. I was moving back from uni from after Christmas, and they robbed my suitcase out the back of my silver Vauxhall Corsa, and they took a Real Madrid shirt because it was in the bag, and it was my nan and granddad got me that. It was a present when I was really young, and it was one of my favourite things. And that got stolen. My Pokemon cards got stolen by someone that was supposed to be my friend out of my garage, and then he blamed it on someone that was really nice as well. Well, there was a few people, but yeah, man. But that's coming from a place of have not. That's the have not thing. People only steal because they have not got what the other person is that they want that they're stealing. But why don't we try and just create a situation where we're not mindlessly driven by material, because we all think that material is going to help us when in actual fact it doesn't. Money makes you a target and it's annoying, but also it doesn't make you happy. But because of celebrity culture, because of the premium market, everybody thinks that it does. And we all, as a society, the majority of people are striving to be celebrities, frankly, because they think that'll make you happy. Well, actually, fame as a false idol is goes against the Ten Commandments. Also, is probably a massive pain in the arse and fucks people up and isolates people. And also doesn't make you happy. Doing what you love all the time, that's what makes you happy. Not being famous, and because that's external. Being famous is external validation. Being famous is, these people know me, that makes me a someone. You're already a someone, you were never not someone. It's the thing, we're driven by the media, celebrity culture. Have. Because the have-nots want what the haves have got. Because the haves think that everyone thinks that makes you happy, and it doesn't. It may alleviate problems not having to worry about money. But being comfortable now, whoa, that is a cool vibe. Being comfortable where you don't necessarily have to worry about money. You have access to be able to do the things that you enjoy spending your time doing, to access the flow state, which is when you lose track of time. Time flies when you're having fun. But when you're working on a passion that gives you that, if you can love what you do for work, wow. But we spend so much of our money on stuff that we don't need because we think that it keeps us up with the Joneses. It doesn't, because the Joneses are idiots. No, let me rephrase that. The Kardashians. You can't win that game. You can't keep up with the Kardashians, that's the point. You can't keep up with them. You can't win that game. The status game. So it's pointless playing. Do what you enjoy doing. But someone's got to beat the game. Just want to go into B&Q and plant flowers. My dahlia came back. Like, the most happy I've been for ages. My dahlia came back. I brought that all the way from Spain, all through France. Like, I just want to... Things that makes me happy are seeing different types of birds in the back of my garden. The dogs behaving themselves. My flowers growing. I don't really want to be the face of a movement. I don't really want fame. The game has it's just so twisted. Someone's got to beat it. I would really prefer it if it wasn't me. That's why it's got to be me. It may not seem like it, but the current administration in the States is a step in the right direction. They've saved the free world, to be honest. I don't know, when I say that, people should be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But they have. Turn off your tellies. Just go and do what you enjoy doing. Maybe then I can just do stuff that I enjoy, instead of having to have the weight of the world on my shoulders, it feels like. But if I don't do it, then Leonardo's going to suffer. And then it goes back to what I promised myself and what I believe is I would sacrifice anything for him. Tell you what, what's that word? Begins with an M. It's kind of like nobility, but like more. Like, can't remember. Funnily enough, my mum shared it with me. It's ironic, but I shouldn't say that really. Because that's a froward mouth. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. We think in terms of the individual when we need to be thinking in terms of the whole. And when we all believe that and we all help each other out, that's like harmony, which is actually what we all want, and probably why we're here, to love and enjoy this experience. I really didn't love being sat behind a desk. It fucked my head up, actually. I hated it. Felt trapped. To get money to go and get bladdered at the weekend. Or during the week. Huh? Both. If you've got a life where it's just like go to work, go home, play games, go get pissed at the weekend, you haven't found your purpose. You can achieve anything you want. Don't think you're not intelligent, don't think you're not creative. No matter what anyone's ever told you, the schooling system just fucks people's heads up. Just find what you love doing and do more of it, and just don't worry about what other people think. It's not like, oh, don't give a fuck what people think me, because those people do. It's just like, yeah, alright, well, I'm just gonna do what's the thing that's gonna make me feel love and passion and happy, and then try and figure out how to have mutually beneficial goals with the benefit of others as well. Which is why I started this whole journey in the first place of trying to become the oldest person to go professional rugby. Because I understood even back then that by someone doing that at an older age, it would shake things up a bit, so other people of an older age wouldn't think they're over the hill. If you look after yourself, you're not. But we don't look after ourselves. We eat shit, drink shit. I just wish sometimes I could just not be me. It never gets to that point where I would actually change it. It gets close sometimes. Just like a normal life would just be like, ignorance is bliss. Sometimes wish you'd taken the red pill or the blue pill, which is one of them. No, you can't go back. It is sad. I do sometimes wish I just had a normal life. I know that I don't. I know that I don't have a normal life. Normal. That's what I mean, like, if you're doing a job that you enjoy and you're comfortable, you don't know how lucky you are. If you try and find a job that you enjoy with people around you that you enjoy, where you can do what you like doing more often, or you can try and facilitate side hustles and different, businesses, online, AI, to enable a position where you can do what you like more often with the people that build you up, make you feel good about yourself. Be around people that don't be around people that take energy. Be around people that give it, and like the group, and having a just good vibes, doing things that you love, just having a cuddle at night, watching a movie at the weekend, like going to a sport game, playing your sport, looking after your kids, doing your God, whatever. Like, there's power in that simplicity, there's power in that harmony, and there's no reason why everyone can't have that. There's not. There genuinely isn't. And that is over-reliance on the attachment to material goods. Like, if we could just lower that and just like encourage people to, it's cool to do what you want, it's cool to be into faith, it's cool to have businesses, and like wasting money on balling, that's not cool. Building wealth, that's fucking cool. That we can shift some of these societal views, step away from the capitalist wheel, and just be like, look, we need this, but we need it in mediation, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about. Moderation, see? And just have, less of a reliance on material, more of an understanding that celebrity culture and fame won't make you happy, less sort of more abundant living of like being like surrounded by people that want to help you, people that have common interests, common goals of harmony, enjoyment, passion, looking after one another, but also being protective, and understanding that sacrifice for the greater good in terms of community is important. Not like, almost like group sympathetic narcissism, if that's understandable. And then just like have everyone just be comfortable, cure homelessness, cure the attachment to the material, cure on both sides of the capitalist structure, cure both of those things by enabling the capitalist model, just tweaking it so that things like homelessness don't occur, but then things like over-attachment to material don't occur, and then find this really happy middle ground where the marginalised aren't marginalised, they have access to equal opportunity, equal education. You're not going to get access to equal funds because there are going to be people that are born into money. But the important thing is that while that may create opportunities for those people, the very starting bottom line is much higher than it currently is. And that would probably come from the middle class, who are the ones that drive the premium market, understanding that that's not going to make you happy and stopping doing it. Then that'll stop the wanting, which will stop the have-nots from needing so badly. And the understanding of like there is this beautiful middle ground where everyone can just really be happy, doing more of what they enjoy doing, helping out other people, helping the communities. Not wanting. It's that, the phrase not wanting for anything, but like psychologically we're designed by marketing to want, need, consumerism. I just detach from that a little bit, and there's a more healthy ground in there through the capitalist structure, I'm sure. Like, I'm not a politician, not yet at least. Fucking hell. That's funny that actually, that's what one of the teachers that kicked me out of school said to me, you should be in politics. before they spoke in Spanish, so that I couldn't understand what they were saying. So you wonder where I get my lack of trust from for the establishment and people that are supposed to have duty of care. Yeah, there is a cool middle ground where entrepreneurship, community, passion, doing what you find in the flow state, doing what you enjoy. There's a really happy middle ground there that is attainable for everyone. There is. And it's just how do we facilitate that as a people? It's not through communism. It doesn't seem. It just feels like philanthropic. There's something more in that. I need to work through that thought. People giving back to their communities, business leaders giving back to their communities, that's important. And creating equal opportunity, especially with regards to education and belief. We need to raise the bar, we need to raise the bottom line, and we need to pull down the top one. That feels like it fits. And how do we do that? We do it for education. Education of what I'm talking about, that celebrity lifestyle won't make you happy, and the premium market being driven by the middle class, the detachment of needing to look posh and rich, because money talks, wealth whispers. So that understanding of that, the detachment of the social structure hierarchy of that, the detachment away from the fame game, the bringing up of the bottom line of the equal opportunity. Although having said that, in lower income areas there are cool things like football cages, which aren't in posher areas, which is kind of cool. I played one near me in Fernhead. Is it Orford? Orford or Fernhead? Fernhead? Fernhead. By Padgate Academy. Anyway, that's how I think that's how we fix it, or rather, I think that's how it's fixed. Because then you get less crime, less petty crime, less have-nots, more understanding of the have bit doesn't make you happy. More people being comfortable, so you don't need to. But then how do you get to that point? Now that's really where it turns up, innit? Because we've got an over-reliance, what I was talking about before, we've got an over-reliance on the governments, the systems. The supermarkets can charge whatever they want. The energy places can charge whatever they want, which we're feeling now, the squeeze. So we need to be more self-reliant. Food production, we need to be supporting locally owned businesses and not putting money into the big ones. Big supermarket chains. Buy local. There's this cool phrase that a golf coach taught me in Spain, which was un kilómetro or nada, which basically means 1 kilometre or nothing. So if you can't get it within 1 kilometre of your house, you don't get it, which is kind of counterintuitive. I want to set up Amazon businesses, but playing the game to help the game, this is kind of where I was like, I don't really want to have to do this, but it doesn't look like anyone else is going to. I think I could work it out. I think I've got quite a lot of it sussed. We need to raise the bottom bar and lower the top bar. And we need to get more people comfortable, because that's what you really want. You really want to just be doing the things in life that make you happy. And people in life that make you happy. You need to be doing more of that and less focus on material. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. It just doesn't. You might think that it does. You might think it looks cool. It doesn't. It looks lame. Wealth talks. Money talks. Wealth whispers. The whole baller thing, that needs to be dropped on its head. That's a load of shit. That's just it's wasting money. We should be like bravadoing making money, not wasting it. How many businesses have you got? How much profit? How much net profit did you make after tax? You know. just wish someone would listen to me. They will. Because I'm fast as fuck. And it hit well hard. It's so stupid, that was me. I'm gonna make such a fucking splash. If you've been mean to me and you don't already regret it, you're gonna be so sick of my face. I look like a mental person. Oh man, I run so fast. I wasn't even trying before. I didn't even know that you could engage your glutes when you were sprinted. I did 11.3, 11 seconds and 11.3 seconds 100 meter at 16 with no training, no coaching, no glute engagement. Oh shit. But at the same time, it's not funny. Because a lot of people have to get hurt in life. And that's not what we want. We want everyone comfortable and happy. Because why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Why can't everyone just be comfortable and happy? Why is that not harmony? Why is that not the goal of everybody? Because if it was, you'd get it. Because that's how it works. Turn off your TVs, read more books, go out for a run, look after a dog, look after your kids, don't put yourself first all the time. Give cuddles, listen, talk to listen, don't talk to reply, ironically after an hour of talking. Follow your heart, listen to your intuition. Be humble, always. Isn't it interesting how Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo exist at the same time? I wonder how much better Leo Messi made Cristiano Ronaldo. Because I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the epitome, the absolute limit of what a human can achieve athletically. And think how much he was pushed, because Leo Messi is clearly the more gifted natural footballer. And that really pushed Cristiano to excel and get every last drop out of himself. It's cool. There's cool lessons in that. And until me. So Cristiano, I'm coming for you, baby. Because I met my therapist, my physiotherapist, used to do your anti-doping, and he said you're a bit of a bellend. No offence. So be more Paul Scholes. Be more Lee Carsley. Be more don't be like Kenny Powers. You're fucking out.